Hi guys, welcome back to Evelyn's Oven. I'm in my kitchen here. Earlier I made the split pea soup and now everybody wants dessert, so I'm going to make banana chocolate chip muffins. So I've cleared off my old stuff and I've got all my good stuff here. My new stuff are my muffins. Actually, I'm not going to make muffins. I'm going to make a loaf. So I have a loaf pan here. I'm trying to move things aside so you can see what I'm doing here. So today I went grocery shopping and I bought some fresh bananas. And so when they're fresh, they're all yellow and they're firm. Once they ripen, they get dark and all the sugars collect. Well, so I learned that I could stick these guys in the oven. I got 3 bananas that I stuck in the oven for 10 minutes at 350. And look, they're ripe. Overly ripe, but that's what we want for this recipe. So I got 3 black bananas here. All the sugars are oozing out. So in this bowl right here, I've started just with my flour. I didn't want to get too ahead of myself so you guys can follow the recipe that I have. So I used 1 cup of coconut flour, and then I used a half cup of a pancake mix, which already has your baking soda, baking powder, salt, and all that good stuff. And then I just mix it in like this. And then you want to mix all your dry ingredients, your dry ingredients in one bowl and then your wet ingredients in another bowl. So what I'm going to use for the wet ingredients is my bananas, and I'm going to get a fork. Oh, I have a fork right here. And I didn't forget some things, but I know this is the beginning. So I'm just going to peel off my banana here. It's really, really ripe. That is so cool. I didn't know you could do that. I looked it up online because I really wanted to make them tonight, and I didn't have any ripe bananas. I mean, like overly ripe. That's what you want to use. Because all the sugars and all that comes to the surface and it's just yummy. So we're going to use 3 ripe, overly ripe bananas. And here's the third one. All that juice is just coming out. I used to have, I think before I moved, I used to have really nice muffin pans. I don't know what happened to them. I'll just have to buy more, I guess. I still have a loaf pan, so we're doing a banana. I want to call it banana vanilla chocolate chip loaf because we're going to use vanilla flavored yogurt in place of the oil. So yeah. And then I use aluminum free baking powder. So we're just going to use the quarter teaspoon of that. And we're going to mix that in really well. Okay, so I've got my baking powder in there. So for the wet ingredients, I've got my 3 bananas, and I'm going to mush down with my fork. Hopefully you guys can see. Just move some of this stuff. Move this to the side. I think I'm just going to come over here. Maybe that'll work. I'm just going to come over here so you guys can see. With the banana, it's very mushy and there's a lot of liquid in there. That's what we want for this recipe. And just mush it down. Gotta hold it here on the table just to. So these mush down really nice. Okay, so got that going on. Mix it up now. It's a little bit clumpy, but we're gonna get those clumps out. Okay. We're gonna add 1 egg. So we got our 3 ripe bananas, 1 egg. I'm just gonna give this a whirl. I want everything incorporated together. Okay. And the chocolate chips, they go with the dry ingredients. So I'm going to put those in here with, I have about 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips, and I'll just take a couple. Okay. So 1½ cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 cup or 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. I got 3 more, like 3/4 cup. 3 ripe bananas, 1 egg, and we're going to add a little vanilla. We are going to add 1/2 teaspoon. And this is for our wet ingredients. There we go. Not a whole lot. Now, I was going to use a pinch of cinnamon, but I like this pumpkin pie spice. It's got a little bit of nutmeg and everything in it. So I'm going to use just a quarter of a teaspoon, very small amount of the pumpkin seasoning, which has our cinnamon in it. There's that. And we're going to use 1/2 cup. Let me mix this in. So that's what it looks like, if you can see that. And that's what that looks like so far. Now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of the yogurt. It's a low-fat vanilla yogurt. Now some recipes call for oil. Most of them call for oil. I try not to use oil for my baked goods. I don't know why. I just never really liked it. I either use applesauce or just to give it the moisture, but I just don't like oil. So I mean, there's many choices. You could use sour cream, you could use yogurt, applesauce. I don't really have any applesauce right now, and between the 2, sour cream and vanilla flavored yogurt, I'm going to go with the vanilla flavored yogurt. That sounds best. So just to measure. Okay, so there's that. Put the lid back on this. So we got our 1/2 cup of vanilla yogurt in here. I'm going to mix it in really good. Gosh, that banana smells really good. Vanilla, banana, egg. Okay. And a touch of pumpkin spice. It is fall time. Got to add a little bit of that. So this is the sugar. So I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup. I'm not going to use the full cup. And I'm just going to eyeball it there at the top. So there we have it. So I have about a 3/4 of a cup there. Actually, this sugar needs to go with the dry ingredients. So we'll put this sugar over here. And we'll mix it in with the chocolate chips. Get it all incorporated here. Yeah. So we got the dry mixture over here and the wet one over there. There we go. We got our sugars, our flours, our chocolate chips, our baking powder, aluminum free. I like switch to aluminum free on a lot of things, except for I still use aluminum foil for, you know, stuff, cooking. But like for my underarm deodorants and stuff like that, I just try to stay away from aluminum. Okay, so here is our banana, egg, yogurt, vanilla mixture. Oh, God, that smells good. Smells wonderful. I'm just gonna dash the salt. That's it. Let it fall where it may. There we go. Just a little bit. Okay, so here's our dry mixture. And here's our wet mixture. So I'm going to mix the wet with the dry. And then we're going to fill our loaf pan. I just want to make sure in my mind, I'm like, okay, I added the sugar, added the vanilla, I added the yogurt, I added the baking powder, the pumpkin pie spice, this dash of salt. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. I don't believe I am. So, I have these sprinkles, and I was trying to see if I could find some sprinkles that would go good, that was kind of fallish. The only ones I could find are this dark sprinkles here that I might use on the top of this. Okay, so I'm going to add this in. Here we go. This is the exciting part. Okay. All right, so I'm going to mix this in. I just want you guys to see. I know they're just mixing stuff in, but
Stop here. Go back.
okay, so here you go. This is what it looks like. I'll bring it closer to you. Here we go. So look at that. So I'm just going to mix this. I think I need a fork. So I just want to incorporate everything together. And it's going to take a bit of elbow work here. So I'm going to mush it down like this, and that gets all the flour and all the banana mixed in together. And I did add a lot more chocolate chips than I thought I would. have, I do have a lot of chocolate chips, and I didn't want, figured might as well use what you have, but I'm not going to use the whole bag. That would be a little much. I could have used my mixer. So I could have used a mixer for this, but I figured, you know what? It's been a while since I made something like this, so I'm just going to try it my way and see how it works. Okay, so I'm working at it and I'm working at it. I almost just want to like wash my hands and just dig in because I keep getting loose flour. Almost looks like cookie dough. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give my hands a quick wash, and then I am going to mix with my hands. I'm so excited though, it smells so good. Can you really smell the banana back there? Yeah, well, because I have them in the oven for 10 minutes, so probably fumigated the whole house. Yeah, I hate to dig in with my nails though. Getting them out of my nails. Okay, so I'm just going to flip these over, get all the flour incorporated. There's still some flour down here that we have to incorporate with this banana. We just keep mushing the flour down. And next time I do have the dough mixer. I'll use that next time. I didn't think how much turnover time it'd take, but I still have some flour down here. So when I bake this, I'm going to bake it in my little oven over here for about 30 minutes. See how now it's starting to look more like cookie dough. Okay, now I see less and less flour. Less and less flour. That's what we want. We just want to see cookie dough. I love chocolate chips. Who doesn't love chocolate chips? I suppose people that don't like chocolate don't like chocolate chips. But this is something that I haven't made in a long time. So bear with me, guys. You're going to see how this turns out. Oh my split pea soup was a hit, by the way. There's nothing left. Everybody devoured that. They wanted second and thirds. It was really, really good. Okay. So I buttered this loaf pan with the spray butter. Love the spray butter, especially if you want to use butter and you don't want to take a paper towel and smear it around. I just love the spray stuff. It super coats it. It's awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to dump in. I'm going to dump this in, and then I'm going to pat it down. Whoa, there's a lot there. Okay, so now I'm just going to squish it down. It's where you get to play with your food part. This is the fun part. So I just take the edge of my hand and just push it down along the sides and just pat it down everywhere else. You want it nice and tight. You don't want no air pockets in there. There we go. I'm going to spray a little butter on top. And let me wash my hands and we'll put some sprinkles. Okay. All right. There we go. Let's look at this. Doesn't that look nice? And now we're going to add some of the sprinkles to it. Yeah, since we are doing chocolate chips and it's fall, we'll choose a fall color, brown. Oh, and since it is, hey, I think this shimmery pink stuff, a little bit too on the top. We've got some orange and reddish colors going on out there as well. There we go. There it is. Now this isn't the done project, but this is before I stick it in the oven. Now, I'm just going to do a real close-up so you guys can see all the little chocolate coat, what are those, chocolate candies or whatever? There's chocolate chips in there too. So banana bread with vanilla in it. I'm going to take this one out. I got too much stuff going on over here. Move all this over here. Okay, so I'm going to conventional bake at 350 or 375 for 30 minutes. Start. All right, guys, we'll come back in about 30 minutes. When it's done, I'll pull it out and we'll see the results.